You ever see a grown woman scream so loud at a wooden fence that three emergency vehicles show up, sirens blaring, because the dispatcher thinks someone got crushed on her tractor, then all anybody finds is a lady with a bruised ego and a vendetta? Yeah, that was my Tuesday. And honestly, the best part is she called 911 to report the county inspector without realizing the county inspector was me. Let me back up a sec. That morning started off like the universe was finally cutting me a break coffee hot, inbox zero, and a rare, quiet day lined up so I could finish fencing the east side of my property. Not just for privacy, though God knows I needed that, but to finally mark the boundary the local HOA kept pretending wasn't there. Their walking trail dips 3 feet onto my land, all decked out with potted mums and solar gnomes, as if claiming it by flower arrangement makes it theirs. But see, I'm the county inspector. I got the property records, the maps, the permits, literally signed off on stuff like this for a living. Except this time, I'm not just the official. I'm a homeowner tired of getting bulldozed by HOA rules, and I'll be damned if I'm letting them walk all over me. That's when I hear the staccato slap of designer sandals on concrete, and a voice you could pick out of a police lineup. Karen, in all her glory. Sun hat like a beach umbrella, rhinestone sunglasses, fanny pack cinched tight enough to cut circulation. She marches right through the orange boundary flags I set. Not so much as a hello, just points at my half-finished fence and shrieks, "You can't build that. You're ruining the community flow." I set my coffee down, dusted off my gloves, and said as politely as I could muster, "Karen, we've been over this. This is my land, county approved. You're actually standing 3 feet into it right now." She crosses her arms, puffs up, and gives me that HOA board glare, like her bylaws override the state of Texas. I don't care what your little papers say. We didn't vote on this fence. I almost laughed because we're in the unincorporated zone. HOA can't touch us. I even sent the property plat to their lawyer last month. Her eyes narrowed, classic look of someone realizing she's losing, but plotting her next move anyway. She spun on her heel, stomped off, and for about a minute, I let myself believe that was the end of it. Yeah, right. Next morning, someone had spray-painted "Fence Go Home" in neon green across my siding. Real mature. So I pulled the security cam footage, sent it straight to the sheriff's office with a formal complaint, then marched down to the county, printed 3 certified boundary maps, and mailed one to Karen with a yellow sticky. Thought you might want to review this again. For 2 days, radio silence. Then, Saturday morning, Karen's white Lexus screeches up to my drive. She just sits there, death gripping the wheel like she's about to outbluff me at a real estate poker game. Finally, she gets out, walks right up, and dials 911, loud enough for me and the squirrels to hear. There's a man impersonating a county official building an illegal fence and threatening the neighborhood. I just level the next post. Come as you please. Sure enough, squad car rolls up, lights flashing. Officer steps out, spots my county badge clipped to my belt, smirks. "Eric, didn't expect to see you here, about to get arrested for criminal fencing." I grinned, just try to keep the livestock in and the drama out. Karen storms over. He's threatening the board and violating community standards. Officer raises an eyebrow, glances at my paperwork, then hands it right back to her with the county seal. "Ma'am, you're trespassing. The fence is legal." Karen's jaw worked silently. Then she huffed back to her car and started calling in backup. "Get the board down here now." By noon, more HOA members were clustered at the property line, trying to look official. One clipboard warrior muttered about community cohesion. I asked if he was licensed in zoning. He said no. I handed him my card. Karen forgot to tell them I was the actual county inspector. Watching their faces was better than victory pizza. That night, I installed new solar lights along the fence, partly for security, mostly because I knew Karen would hate them. She glared out her window for hours, probably plotting. Next morning, I find a letter on my mailbox, official HOA stationery, demanding immediate fence removal, citing no codes, no signatures, just legal-sounding nonsense. I laughed, stapled my certified map to it, dropped it in her box with a sticky, "See you at the county meeting." She didn't answer. But that afternoon, I saw her pacing her yard, phone to ear, like she was dialing for air support. Now, here's where the fun really began. I got tired of defense, so I went on offense. Filed a public record request, pulled every fake complaint Karen ever submitted. Flagged 5 violations she'd actually committed, all under county jurisdiction. Plus, turns out she was billing the HOA for fake landscaping work through her cousin's company. I drafted the report myself, savoring the twist this wasn't just a win about a fence. This was the beginning of her downfall. By Monday, the neighborhood was split. Half thought I was a rogue contractor hell-bent on lawn gnome genocide. The other half started rooting for me. But Karen? She doubled down, issuing more official removal demands, mailing legal-sounding threats full of phrases like mandated dismantlement and violation of subdivision harmony. I almost choked on my toast. Subdivision harmony? My neighbor across the street plants flowers in an old toilet. Harmony my ass. So I copied every legal code, stapled it to her letter, and mailed it back certified. CC'd the county commissioner. If Karen wanted a paper trail, I was making a mile long. She got desperate, printing flyers, calling emergency HOA meetings, hiring a teenager to wave a sign about the rogue fence. That kid's going to be a labor lawyer someday, mark my words. Her flyers left out the bit where my house wasn't even under HOA control. Out of curiosity, I crashed the meeting. Sat in the back, watched her wave pictures of my fence like she'd uncovered a meth lab, not a privacy screen. Claimed she'd filed a formal complaint, and the fence would be red-tagged and removed. Funny thing, county zoning is me. No complaint was ever filed. She lied publicly to a room full of people. Afterward, I quietly introduced myself to a board member named Dennis. Flash my inspector's ID. Just so we're clear, Karen might want to be careful. Filing false claims with the county is a misdemeanor. Dennis looked like he was going to throw up. You could feel the shift board members suddenly realizing they'd been led down a rabbit hole with no way back up. Next morning, Karen showed up with 2 guys in reflective vests, tried to play demolition crew. They hesitated. Contractors from her cousin's landscaping gig, not city workers. One quietly filmed on his phone while I pointed out the giant red boundary marker. Cross it, and you're liable for trespassing. They bolted. Karen screamed, but nobody came running. After that, she tried a hand-delivered notice of intent to fine, signed by herself, threatening legal action. Trouble is, impersonating county authority is a crime. I added it to my growing folder, called the county legal office. Woman on the phone laughed. You're the 3rd complaint this month about Karen. Want to file a formal grievance? Oh, you bet. By now, I was on a first-name basis with the county legal team. I submitted everything: photos, letters, security footage. The best part? Neighbors started showing up, bringing sweet tea and cookies, saying they were rooting for me. Mr. Penner, 3 houses down, dropped off a cartoon sketch of Karen yelling at a tree labeled private land. Even the quiet folks started coming out, relieved someone was standing up. The kicker came at the next HOA meeting. Karen stormed in with binders and binders, launched into a speech about community values, and called my fence a monument to defiance. I let her finish, then walked to the front, calm as sunrise. Introduced myself, dropped a pile of permits and maps on the table, then clicked the projector to a slide. Her voice, recorded at a secret meeting, saying, "I don't care what the county says, I make the rules here." The boardroom gasped. Sandra, the new interim president, stood up, nodded, and officially moved to remove Karen from power. This time, nobody objected, not even Dennis. Karen tried to storm out, tripped on the projector cord, and went down in history for the most dramatic HOA exit since someone's chihuahua attacked the Easter Bunny at last year's egg hunt. A few days later, the county formally thanked me for my documentation, said my case had cracked open a much larger investigation. Karen had been abusing her power for years, billing fake landscaping, fining people for imaginary violations, using HOA money to throw private parties. The new board issued a public apology, and the neighborhood actually started to heal. People brought lawn chairs back out. Kids rode bikes again. Nobody worried about getting cited for having the wrong color mailbox. Karen faded away. Some say she went to Arizona. Others swear she's still watching from behind the blinds, plotting her next HOA coup. But her reign was over, toppled by a fence, a camera, and a mountain of receipts. In the end, that stretcher would did more than keep out stray dogs and nosy walkers. It drew a line that finally held one nobody, not even Karen, could cross. So, what do you think? Was I right to stand my ground? Or was it all just petty neighborhood politics? Let me know where you draw the line between order and overreach, because sometimes the difference between a fence and a fortress is just who's on the other side.